We're getting a lot of fascist Zionist trolls on one of the big posts on here, and there's some commonalities in the kind of rhetoric, the sort of arguments they use. They go figure, they tend to recycle a lot of shit. Oh, cat's walking around. And one of them that I've noticed is a reference to Sahih Muslim 2922, a hadith that talks about having to kill Jews. It's like, oh, look, there's look, Muslims are commanded to kill Jews, and Hamas says this, and blah, blah, blah. So, clearly Muslims want to kill all the Jews of Israel. Now, we know that racist little shits tend not to read at all anyway, so obviously they're not going to look into the context of this. But just in case you want to be able to argue with them, maybe point something out, or if nothing else, just laugh at how ridiculous they are, I figured I'd give you a little bit of context on that one. So first off, the key here is that this is an apocalyptic eschatological passage. It's about the end of the world. We know that from two other hadith that say this passage is about that, as well as a whole bunch of commentaries on the hadith that say this is about the end of the world, and talk about it in relation to a prophecy that near the end here, cats, that near the end here, Isa is going to come back down from the heavens, that's Jesus, and he is going to be involved in a fight with an Antichrist type figure. It's Al-Dajjal. What's that? Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal. I'm going to mangle the pronunciation on that, but sort of a fake Messiah. And the argument here is that in this fight, there are Jews who are going to choose to side with this fake Messiah, and there are Muslims who are going to follow Isa into this fight. So it's in the context of an end-of-the-world prophecy. So, first big question you need to ask people who are trying to cite this is, has Jesus come back yet? Has Isa descended from the heavens? And is there an end-of-the-world battle going on right now? Are we in the apocalypse? No, we're not. Well, then shut the fuck up, racist. It's pretty easy, right? Because this passage has a very clear context. And if you think about how they're using it, these are the kind of people who seem perfectly happy to take a lot of Christian Zionist support. And Christian Zionism is founded on a 19th century evangelical interpretation that says that, well, there's going to be a giant apocalyptic battle that takes place there, and you need, therefore, Jews to live there and to rebuild the temple, so they piss off Muslims, and it creates an apocalyptic war. And in that apocalyptic war, and in this battle in the plains of Megiddo, i.e. Armageddon, the Jews are all going to die. So Christian Zionism is essentially a genocidal idea that sees nearly all Jews killed and the rest of them converted. And somehow, you don't see a lot of these Zionists out there attacking Christians with really racist rhetoric and saying they don't want any Christian support or any Christians around. It's somehow only about Muslims. So, yeah, if we're looking at apocalyptic literature, and they both have a terrible prophecy that both involves killing Jews, why is it only one that's a problem? Now, the other one that you've got to deal with here is the whole in the meantime, i.e., if the world hasn't ended yet, what are the responsibilities of Muslims? And you have other passages. So there's it's in Sahih al-Bukhari 3166, and in this one you have an argument that whoever kills a non-Muslim who is under Muslim power, that person will not experience the fragrance of paradise, or something like that. So this is basically saying, if you have a Jew in your clutches and you have the ability to harm him, if you do, you ain't going to heaven. And there's other hadith that say that anybody who harms a Jew in these kind of circumstances here, well, on the day of judgment, Muhammad will actually advocate for the Jew against the Muslim who did that. So if you're going to say that Hamas is telling people, or that Muslims in general are telling people to go out there and harm Jews, then you're basically saying Muslims are saying we all want to go to hell. Because that's just stupid. It doesn't make any damn sense. This isn't an apocalyptic battle. There are passages in a number of places in Islamic texts, whether you're talking about the hadith or you're talking about some passages in the Quran that have very specific contexts when it references Jews. And when people take this shit completely out of context and apply it to their pet issue, you kind of know they have an agenda. This is apocalyptic literature. And since the world has not ended, and since we are not in an apocalyptic battle, and since Jews have not signed up to follow a false Messiah into battle against Jesus, who's descended from the heavens to lead the army of Muslims, well then all these other things that say you're supposed to treat Jews well and take care of them and protect them, that shit kind of applies. Does that make sense? I hope that helps a lot, because this constant reference to Muslim 2922 in this form here, with under my posts by people. I mean, granted, I keep blocking them because fuck fashy trolls. You know, I got no patience for that crap. But if you want to engage with them, and if you want to talk about this, and if you want to point out that they're being racist dipshits by citing apocalyptic literature, here's a little evidence you can use in your argument. Cool. Hope that helps.